Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Taylor, and this is Cozy Corner. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Follow, like, and subscribe. Turn on those notifications to be able to get new content from me every Wednesday. We are still in our Sweet Oblivion series. At this point, he has got no one need to propose. And I said yes. And honestly, I don't know why I said yes. Maybe I thought that there was a chance that he would be a better person. And turn over a new leaf and change his ways and do all those different things. And then there was this pressure, like everyone was like, Taylor, what you gonna say? What you gonna say? Because I literally froze. And so I said yes. So we get back to the house, and I have to pack up the apartment because I'm getting ready to leave to move to Georgia. And we're having a discussion as we're like packing clothes up and everything because I'm leaving the next morning. And I asked him, I said, why did you propose? You know, we really wasn't in a good place. And I'm just kind of curious as to why you went through with it. And his response was so unexpected. And usually when people propose to someone, it's because they love them. They want to spend the rest of their life with them. They want to, you know what I mean? They can't live without that person. They want to travel the world. They want to, you know what I mean? This is their person. This is who they want to be with for the rest of their life, right? And to my surprise, he looks at me smack dead in my eyes and say, well, I only married you because you're a good woman and I didn't want nobody else to have you. Or considered marrying you when he proposed. He's like, that's really my reason. Like, I would want to marry you because of that. So I proposed with that in mind. And I'm like, so you got on one knee in front of the entire family, friends, you know what I mean? Like, because you didn't want me with anybody else and I was a good woman. And I just sat there for a minute. I'm like, okay. And I just kind of brushed it off and just kept packing. And so everything is fine. Then I go to Georgia. I'm there for a while, but I'm going like back and forth from Memphis to Georgia. And like everyone keeps asking me, what are the wedding plans? What are we doing? I did not plan a wedding. I didn't intend on planning a wedding. I'm thinking like I was just not in the space to do any of it. So then we got to the point where, you know, the summertime was over. He had to go back to school. Our relationship was still rocky even then because he was talking about joining, you know, going to the military because his parents was not planning on paying for his school and they couldn't afford for him to continue to go to school for another year. They was like, you're going to have to figure out what to do, get a job or something because we can't afford to pay for your schooling. So at that time, my mom was in a financial position to be able to pay for his tuition for him to finish school. So she did. And he finished schooling. And of course, you know, I still helped him get scholarships and things like that, like helping him with his essays and things like that, because he wasn't great at really doing those types of things. So I was really helping him. So he gets out of school and he's graduated at this point. I'm back in Memphis for other reasons, which I'll get into later as to how I ended up back in Memphis. So I'm back in Memphis, applying for jobs, trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. And he moves into the apartment that I was in at that time when I was staying in Memphis. And things seem to be going a little too well. And I never understood, like, we weren't arguing, we weren't fighting, we weren't there was no type of like, we would still kind of have our moments, but he was a little too calm, cool, and collective. But I never like suspected that he could be talking to somebody or stepped out at any point. Like, I have always been the type of person where if I trust you wholeheartedly. I'm not the type to go look through your phone, trying to find stuff. Because if I'm with you, whatever is done in the dark is going to come to the light anyway. So I wasn't going to like worry myself with trying to look through his phone to see if I see something or follow him places, things like that. And plus, I was working, trying to figure out what I was doing in my life. And then also I had some health things going on that I was trying to take care of in the same breath. So I was not really concerned with all that. So, you know, he's staying back and forth or whatever. And things seem to be going well. Then I moved to these other apartments. And he ended up moving in permanently. Like, he was on and off at the other one, but he moved in permanently in the other apartments that I moved into that were in Memphis. And things started to get a little suspicious because, like, he was going out more. And he would say, oh, I'm with my friends. I'm doing this. Oh, I'm going to go see my cousin, spend time with my cousin. It was always things like that. And like I said, I never suspected anything, never accused him of anything. And then it was one instant where he thought I was talking to somebody. We had a huge fight over that. So we was in the apartment and I had a guy best friend, which I've already explained. I've always got along with guys. So I had guy best friends up until I still have guy best friends. So that's just how it is. And so we got into this argument one day and we was in the bedroom and he called himself being upset, talking about I was talking to somebody and accusing me of being a word I will not say, but a woman that's pretty loose and give herself to everybody. And that's kind of how he was portraying the whole picture. And how he was talking about how his uncle used to always tell him never trust the H word and just stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't even know where all this is coming from. So there were, I took my guy friend to the store because he was talking to these girls and I was like, you need to be protecting yourself and making sure you're not, it's stuff out here. You know, I've always been the type to be very protective of my friends. And so, and he was just getting out of the Marines. So I was like, you need to make sure you doing what you doing, you know. And so I took him to the store to get him some stuff to make sure he's safe. So he told me, he said, well, I can't take these in the house with me. Could you keep them and then drop them off next day? So they were in my car and I was cleaning out my car and I ended up bringing them in the house. And I had totally forgot about it. So he assumed that I was taking him and sleeping with him. He didn't ask where they come from. How did you get them? Automatic. Oh, you sleeping with so-and-so, so-and-so. We don't even use these. Just a whole thing. So he takes the box and throws it at me. And next thing you know, I took my ring off and threw it at him. And I said, you can have that. I don't need it. You can take it with you on your way out the door. So he leaves and I guess he goes off for a few days. I don't know where he went for a few days. And he comes back. You know, I can't go home. The whole black sheep story. We had to relive that moment. Oh, you know, I can't go home. You're the only one that really cares for me and do for me. Like, people are going to, you know, not understand my situation. I'm trying, you know, I'm getting better. We haven't been like this whole thing about how he's been improving and trying to get better and all these different things. And so I said, okay, well, you can live here, but we're roommates. Like, we're not together. You can see who you want to see. Vice versa. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, if you're going to be here, we're going to be roommates. We made that perfectly clear. So in that moment, I started talking to, at this point, we had even caught off the engagement. See, people don't know that we caught up the engagement way before we even officially broke up. And so when he went away for a while, I was like, okay, I did the unthinkable thing, y'all. So we was talking to other people, and then he ended up going to spend time with his parents. Because at first he wasn't really digging the whole roommate thing. So one night, because I was still upset about the condom situation, him throwing that box of condoms at me. And one night I was on the phone with my friend, and I was driving down the street. And so I had the crazy idea to go and tape all those condoms that he threw at me on his vehicle. And I did. And I felt great about it, because if you're going to throw that at me and accuse me of doing something, you're going to receive the same treatment, because you're not going to do it like that. At that point, y'all, I drew the line and I was done with the nonsense. So he woke up the next morning with his dad asking him what had happened, because the neighbor came to their house and told them that there were condoms taped to one of the cars in the driveway.